Gina and I are going on vacation in New Hampshire in about 6 weeks. And I think today is September the 5th. In order to do that, I've always had to ask my neighbor who lives right over there, great guy, his name's Mike, to feed the fish while I'm gone. And I just don't want to do that for another month while we're gone. And I want to have a more permanent way to feed the fish also. So what I decided to do is make my own fish feeder. And I've seen some plans where people have, not really built this before, but variations. And so, well, this is my variation. And instead of buying the really expensive one, I decided to go with the kit, like you see here, using the 55-gallon drums that I always get from the guy in Bauxite. And let me just open these up and I'll show you what these are and I'll talk to you about them. Okay, this is the fish feeder kit itself, and it has the fish flinger, I don't know what you actually call it. It throws the feed out, and that is powered by the same company here, makes this 6-volt battery, and then I also have a wall charger here. So that's the component. So this attaches to the bottom of a container, and in my case it's going to be the bottom of this 55-gallon drum. Now inside the drum is going to be a funnel that'll funnel the feed. It'll sit in here, and because of gravity it'll go down into the small hole and into the feeder here. So it'll keep pressure trying to put feed into this, I guess is the best way to say that. Now if you followed me before and you saw where I did that filter build, this is the same top, and this is going to be the top to keep water out and animals, and these are what I'm going to secure the top with. So I've got some wing nuts here so I can tighten it down, but I'm going to drill them in through here. This is concept of mine. I haven't seen this before, but I'm going to drill a hole through here, and it's got a catch here. If you see, it's got a catch right here, so I'm going to drill a hole and use wing nuts to tighten it down. But I'll show you all that as I build it. So basically that's it. Those are the components of the build. The first thing we need to do is cut the top out of this 55-gallon drum again. Alright, I cut the lid off. Real easy with the Sawzall. Took me all of 1 minute to whip around that. And I don't care if it's a little bit uncleaned, I'm not going to file it off. But I rinsed it out also. This is food grade. It had a coconut tropical punch, some kind of mixed drink, probably made with Splenda. And then I took some mineral spirits there, a scraper, and of course I had gloves on, and I removed the labels so it's not too terribly redneck. And now what we need to do is we need to put the funnel in and determine where the drop through point is going to be for the feeder kit. Okay, I put the funnel in there, and I took a Sharpie and I just put the center mark there, and now I'm going to take a drill and drill it. Now we went in through the inside and drilled a hole, and now we flipped it upside down, and we're going to take this hole saw and we're going to make a big old hole right there. Hole complete. Okay, you can see that the funnel's in there and the hole is where it needs to be, and it works great. But the funnel has some loose areas here, and I don't want feed falling down behind that. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. I do want to keep the funnel. I can take the funnel out and it'd just be a hole, and that'll work, but it wouldn't work as efficiently as if it was funneled down. So I'm going to try these screws like the one I just dropped there, and I'm going to come in from the outside since these have a sealing head on it, and I don't want sharp edges on the outside anyway. So we're going to try to come out from the outside, if you will, through, and see what that does. Okay, I found that when I put the screws in, it did great. It pulled it over close, but by the time you got around to the other side, the gap was too big. So what I decided to do was I weighed the options. Do I go without the funnel altogether, or do I try something else? So I made cuts in it here because I want to keep that funnel going, and that'll allow more flexibility for the screws to pull the walls over. So let's put it in and see what it looks like. Okay, the screws are all the way around, and it does flush it up really well against the sides. There's a spot or two where, especially right there, where some of the fish feed will slip through probably, but I'm okay with that a little bit. It sure doesn't look good on the outside, but I plan on doing a spray paint job just to make it look a little better. I call it pond chic. You don't notice some screws anymore, do you? You just you just notice that real shitty paint job, don't you? Anyway, okay, there's a gap between here and the bottom of the barrel by about this much, so I need to move these further this way, and I'm going to do that with my heat gun. That's the current one, a good one. And this is the one that I bent back a little bit. You can see I need to bend the tab further this way. This is just a horseshoe, and weigh it down, and you spray it with a sprayer. I can't do it with the camera and cool it at the same time, make sure it's completely flat. But that's what you do, you just mash it down while the plastic is pliable, and you spray it to cool it off, and you create a flat surface, like over there, more or less flat. Now I've got the throwing battery operated unit here. It's bent the way I want it. I need to place it over the hole here, and it's a little bit wobbly, but I want it to be snug, and these little legs will bend just a little bit so it's snug, so I won't lose any. Plus I have a washer or two that I'm going to place underneath each one, and I'm going to fix it now. Okay, I've got the port facing the direction I want it to face. I've got one of these underneath here on each one of those. These are the screws, the rubber that goes for each screw, and hopefully that'll seal underneath, and I've got a metal washer on top, and now I'll just torque them down. Okay, everything's tightened down, but not torqued too tight. And you can see this thing is on there pretty darn good. I went with these types of screws instead of the others that had bolts, because I would have to get inside underneath the funnel and to secure it, and it would be a bear. So that's what I did. As you can see, I am working on my deck, and I took advantage of that by using the boards as a support system, so I can finish up the top here. So this is what it looks like on the inside now. I'll take you down close, and you can see the reception area for the feed flinger. I don't know what to call the thing. Feed flinger works. Now we want this thing to be waterproof and critter proof, and windproof. And it's sitting on here now, but a heavy wind or a raccoon could certainly get that up. So we need to fix that, something that'll allow me to easily get into it and yet keep other critters from getting in there, or rain. So I'm going to take advantage of this lip here. Let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, as you can see there, the head of the screw is facing in, and the exposed side out here is waiting for a wing nut. And I need to put a washer here to solidify where it needs to be inside here. So the head of the screw is keeping it from lifting up here. And I can lift one side of it and pull it out, as you see there. Alright, it's secured now. And I thought I'd be able to get to it doing this, but I had to drill another little hole. It don't matter because there's no rain that can get underneath this up and over into it. But the way this works is the other two here, and on the other side there's 3 total. They'll stay affixed, and this one all I have to do is loosen, and then I come in from the inside. Let me see if I can do it while on camera. I'm one-handed holding the camera. Whoop, I'll pick that up. So anyway, I just come in like this, and then I screw the wing nut, which fell right here, back on there, and then she's secured. Real easy to do, and I have a secure top now. Okay, so the build is complete for the fish thing, fish thrower, flinger, whatever. I just got to put the battery in it and set the timer. It's got a battery and timer. I'll show you that in a little bit, but I got to create a support out at the pond for this to sit on top of. We're going to do that. Okay, I'm out of my pond. It's windy, so I got my finger over the mic, so hopefully you can still hear me pretty good. This is where I'm going to put it. This is normally where I feed the fish, and you can see there's a decline here, so I've got to construct a platform that'll be stable under heavy load and pretty close to the water, so it throws the fish food out. This is the platform I came up with, and when I put it on I'll show you why. But I still have to put boards, decking boards across there, or boards I can step on. For now, we have taken the cover off of this, and we're going to install the battery, put the cover back on, set the timer, how often and all that, and then put the cover back on. I got it set out here at the pond. I put the little bit of feed I had in that bag in here. I'm going to put the lid on and get ready because it's about to time. There it is, completely set up. Very, very stable. I went out there and walked all the way to the edge. I got my iPhone here. That timer is 1 minute faster than my iPhone, or my Samsung. I don't have an iPhone. Anyway, and it says 6:58. I'll bring you back. Alright, we're going to just sit here and wait, and I will cut out. No need to cut it out. Now the fish aren't used to it. I usually call them, "Here, fish, 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 fish." That might have scared them. So anyway, yeah, the timer, it was set for 3 seconds, I think, or 4 seconds. It's not long enough, but man, it sure dispersed that feed well. So tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, I will come out here and you know, set the timer a little longer to what's needed. There they come. Here, fish, 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 fish. They're normally just going crazy, but I think that noise scared them. They're not used to it meaning food yet. Come on.